indeed, and a warm welcome to you. Lawyers representing former Congolese rebel leader Bosco Ntaganda have said that they will appeal his jail term handed by the International Criminal Court, ICC, for committing war crimes and crimes against humanity. Ntaganda, nicknamed the Terminator for his role as a military commander in a bloody ethnic conflict in the northeastern part of the DRC in the early 2000s, was sentenced by the Hague-based courts last Thursday. He was convicted on 18 counts, including murder, sexual slavery, and the use of child soldiers. Ruth.
Well, Jerry, the former general of the Congolese army will appeal the 30-year prison sentence imposed on him by the International Criminal Court. He was convicted in July of war crimes and crimes against humanity committed in the Democratic Republic of Congo in the early 2000s. In their judgment, the judges described Ntaganda's role in the crimes committed by his troops in 2002 and 2003 in Ituri, in northeastern Democratic Republic of Congo, as a determining factor. And it should be noted that the security situation in these regions has not improved since then.
And joining us to talk about that is Maria Elena Vignoli from New York. She's with us now to weigh in on the subject. Maria, warm welcome to you. Thank you for joining us. First off, why is this sentencing significant? Why is Bosco Ntaganda's jailing significant?
Bosco Ntaganda's conviction and sentencing is highly significant because it finally provides a measure of justice for his victims in Ituri, and it also sends a strong message to perpetrators of atrocity that even those believed to be untouchable can one day be held to justice. Ntaganda was found guilty of 18 counts of war crimes and crimes against humanity, which is the highest conviction so far at the ICC, and he was sentenced to 30 years in prison, which is as well the highest sentencing delivered so far at the ICC. Initially, Ntaganda was only charged with crimes related to the recruitment and the use of child soldiers in hostilities, much like Lubanga, the former leader of the UPC. But back in 2012 and 2013, the charges were expanded. And really, this provided for the current conviction and sentencing to be more representative of the crimes that Ntaganda's troops committed in Ituri. And it also acknowledged more the suffering of the victims from both ethnic groups, the Hema and the Lendu. And finally, another reason why this is significant is that many of the new charges included crimes of sexual violence. This is the first ever conviction at the ICC for the crime of sexual slavery. And it's also the first time that a commander is found guilty for crimes of sexual violence committed by his own troops against members of the same forces.
It took a long time for victims of Ntaganda to get justice. However, Eastern DRC remains the center of many militia and rebel groups that commit atrocities almost on a daily basis. Does Ntaganda's imprisonment send a clear message to militia leaders and commanders in this part of the Democratic Republic of the Congo? What do you think?
It's true. What is also true, though, is that Ntaganda for the longest time was believed to be, as I said earlier, untouchable. The ICC first issued an arrest warrant against him in 2006, and he continued to commit crimes and lived freely in eastern Congo for 7 more years in full view of Congolese officials, UN peacekeepers, foreign diplomats. So the fact that someone like Ntaganda, who was a Congolese general at some point, seeing him on the dock and being brought to justice is really a powerful message to those who are still active leaders of armed groups, that they too one day could face prosecution. But I agree that this is not enough. There is still a lot that needs to be done in terms of accountability in Congo. And on her side, the ICC prosecutor should really formulate a strategy to address the accountability needs remaining in Congo. And this includes supporting domestic authorities. And in the meantime, the Congolese government needs to commit to really strengthen its efforts to investigate and prosecute grave crimes. And that will help reinforce the rule of law and address the recurrent cycles of violence that we're seeing in the DRC.
Indeed, Mariah. Let me take us back a little to the trial. Ntaganda argued in his defense that he was a soldier and not a criminal. He's likely to use the same grounds as to appeal the sentence. And this brings into question, really, just how someone could turn from being the leader of the army and now is known as the Terminator.
So Ntaganda really tried to mitigate his responsibility throughout the trial. In the closing statements at the end of the proceedings in September 2018, he said that he was a peacemaker. But really, the evidence brought forward by the prosecution, the evidence against him was so strong that the judges were convinced otherwise. They found that he bore high culpability, that he gave orders to commit crimes, and he himself committed grave crimes, including the killing of a priest in Mungwalus. So according to the judges, he really was part of this common plan to drive the ethnic Lendu out of certain areas of Ituri through the commission of crimes. So he alleged that he was just a soldier, a peacemaker, but the evidence says otherwise.